Hey everyone, this is Helena Hart, and I'm here with Adrian Everhart today. I'm so excited. Today we're going to be talking about how to make a man chase and crave you using your feminine energy. I've done some videos with Adrian recently that have just gotten such a huge response, and we keep getting requests for more and more videos. So that's why I wanted to bring her on again today, and I'm just so excited to dive into this topic. So welcome, Adrian. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Helena. I'm so happy to be with you here today. And I'm especially excited to talk about this topic because we cover this in just day one of a program that Helena and I made called Heartbreak to Happily Ever After. Now, this is a program, we sell it on one of our sites. The link is down below in the details if you're interested. But we wanted to share just one day of this program with you and just let you know what we talked about and how there are so many secrets and tools just in day one. I'm so excited to get started. How about you, Helena?
Oh yeah, absolutely. For those of you who haven't checked out some of our other videos, one is called How to Reignite a Man's Attraction Even If He's Pulled Away. We have one on the absolute best method to get him back, Adrian's specialty, and also the truth about why he stopped chasing you. So definitely check those videos out, and we're just going to go deeper and deeper into some of these topics. And this one's kind of all encompassing. When you really know how to tap into that feminine energy and use it to bring a man close and inspire him to pursue you and really crave you, you'll just become that one special woman that he just doesn't want to live without because he feels so good every time he's around you. Right, Adrian?
Yes, and this is all about your powerful, powerful feminine energy. This is something you have very naturally, but somewhere along the line, we started stuffing it down. So today we're going to tell you how to wake it up so this man will chase you. So my question is how can feminine energy make a man fall in love with you? How can it actually repair and reverse a breakup or inspire him to commit that you are the one? You can actually do all of this with your feminine energy. Now, Helena and I each specialize in our own little topic of feminine energy. And Helena, I know that yours is about softness and space. Softness and space. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that and just how some women have one or the other, or just somehow our energy is just a little out of balance with those tools?
Oh yeah, I love this topic. This is one of my favorite things to talk about, and it's really kind of the opposite of what we all feel compelled to do sometimes, especially if a man's pulling away or we're feeling triggered, or even when we're just feeling really excited about a guy and we're starting to develop feelings for him. What we tend to want to do is lean forward with our energy and try to make things happen, and we shut ourselves down emotionally at the same time. It's like a protective mechanism. So what I'm suggesting here with space and softness is actually the opposite. It's leaning back, creating that space for him to come towards you, which is a very feminine energy quality. And it's really important. That's what really inspires a man to chase you and pursue you and want to lock you down for a committed relationship. But it's not enough in and of itself. You also need the softness. You also need to go deep within yourself, connect with your own heart and your own feelings. And that's what makes a man drop down into his heart and feel this very powerful emotional bond with you. It's just the only way. If you're trying to connect with a man physically, like through sex and getting closer that way, or mentally, what happens is you'll typically fall in love, right? The oxytocin kicks in and we get really bonded chemically and physiologically to a man. And the truth is, just because a man is sleeping with you and just because you guys can talk for hours and you're like best friends, it does not necessarily mean that he's falling in love. In order for a man to really fall in love and just crave being with you, you have to create this deep heart-to-heart connection with a man. And you do that through softness and through your feminine energy while creating space at the same time.
Yes, and so this is where you want to use every possible interaction with a man. Every interaction to use these tools to create softness and warmth. And when his energy isn't coming towards you, that's when you actually want to have your energy all over you. So a lot of this is habit forming. And we talk about this in our program, that you actually develop new habits where your focus is on you, not the man, unless the man is around you. But your focus is actually on you and your life. And then you actually begin to rebuild neural pathways in your brain. So this takes practice, which is why we're also fans of our clients' quantum dating or circular dating, which is where if one man, if you're not in an exclusive relationship with him, you keep your options open and you go on coffee dates and you meet other men, because we actually want you to practice on these other men, practice using these tools of just leaning back and allowing that man to show you what he can do. And then this also creates another powerful feminine energy effect, which is if there is a man interested in you and you're keeping your options open and you're going on coffee dates and things like this, that man can actually feel it. He can actually tune into that there are other men sniffing around. Now, we're not doing this to make a guy jealous or, make him, get crazy about you or anything, but we actually, it's part of revving up your feminine energy. And again, this is something that's just natural and inherent. It's in you as a woman, as is masculine energy. We just want you to practice building these new pathways that are going to lead you to that greater sense of confidence, that stronger feminine energy, that vibe you're going to have. Now, Helena, in the class, you talk about one of my favorite topics, which is actually silence, and how we really need to adjust and be comfortable with silence. And so often, I used to find myself in a relationship with a man that if things got quiet, I would just start to, oh, that's a great shirt you're wearing. I would just like pull out anything I could to keep the conversation going. And the guy would, kind of get disinterested, or I would feel like a big phony, or I'd be all up in my head thinking, and I wouldn't be in my body anymore, which is where this comes from. So what do you want to tell us just about silence and giving to get? Because that's two things that we talk about in our program.
Yeah, it's such a great topic, and I'm like laughing over here because I did this myself. We can all do this, and it comes from a good place. It's like filling the space. There's an awkward pause in conversation, and we want to jump in and fill that space. And it comes from a good place. It comes from a place of just wanting to get the connection going and make sure everybody's comfortable. But the truth is, a man would just kill to be with a woman who's comfortable with that silence, who's not always trying to fill in that space. And I know this because I was like the queen of filling the space, not only verbally, but also physically, mentally, emotionally. That's where the space comes in. So if you can just be with a man in the moment and just like let those gaps happen in conversation, it's a great thing. Men actually feel more connected to you when you're at that place rather than up in your head trying to like think about what to say next, right? Or if a man says he went somewhere on a vacation, immediately we want to jump in and go, oh yeah, I went there on my last trip. And we think we're connecting this way. And that might get you a great mental connection. It might get you a great friend. But the only way to create this connection that really makes a man crave your presence is by dropping down out of your head and into your body. And that's creating that space for him to pick up the slack and run with it. I promise a man will say something. If you're hanging out with a man or if you're on a date and there's an awkward pause, if you were to just feel what's going on, smile, keep eye contact, he'll say something, I promise. It's this constant wanting to pick up the slack for a guy or entertain or rescue the conversation that's really kind of pushing the man away on a deep level. So once you try that just little tool, you'll start to get some great results.
This is so true. It's really about a verbal, mental, and emotional leaning back. It's all of those things. It's verbal, it's emotional, and it's up here in your head. You're leaning back in all of these aspects. And so at first, this is something I struggled with. All of our clients, no one ever just really gets it out of the gate, or we're able to do one and not really be able to do the other. So worry not, we teach you how to practice these so you learn how to be a pro at it, and you really learn how to put your energy and train your energy, train your focus to be on what is right in front of you instead of it being all over the man. Helena, the last thing I want to talk about is just what are some tips? My favorite tip with silence is, really using shorter sentences. I teach my clients that the head makes a much longer sentence than the gut does. The gut is very succinct. The gut just says, oh, I feel cold, or, oh, I feel a breeze, or I don't like that, or that would feel really good. Our guts just speak in very short sentences, and our heads kind of can make these big elaborate stories. I'm doing a great example of it right now. So, what would you say is a good way that you can just learn to be comfortable and sit with that silence that's really going to allow the man's masculine energy to get triggered? And again, ladies, this is part of what makes him chase you. This is what makes him pursue you and really feel like he can be confident and in charge, and that you're willing to allow things to move at a slower pace. You're not having some sort of expectation, or you're not being result oriented, which I used to, in the beginning, I would use these tools saying, oh, if I do this, it's going to get me this result. I was making sure I had it with a result in mind. But I really found that silence was one of the most important ones I could use. Do you have any more tips just about silence, Helena?
I love what you're saying, and it reminds me of something that you said in our class, Heartbroken to Happily Ever After, and I believe in Find the One Without Coming Undone. When we talk about how to communicate with a man, we get a lot of questions about, what do I say to him? How do I respond to this text? How do I bring up this conversation? And something I remember you saying, which was so brilliant, was take what you were going to say, cut it in half, and then cut it in half again. And I love that because, we tend to want to just talk endlessly about these things, where men are very, they approach conversations with what's the point or what's the problem. And you can use these moments to connect with your heart and then express yourself from that feminine energy place. And that's what really brings a man close. It inspires him to pursue you. It inspires him to just crave being around you, because it's a pretty rare woman that knows how to do this. So one quick tool, is get in touch with how you're feeling and just express that feeling very succinctly to a man. I feel blank. I feel good. I feel bad. I feel happy. I feel sad. Very, very specific, short feeling statements without attaching this expectation to it. Like, I feel that you should contact me more. That's not a feeling statement, right?
No.
It feels so good to hear from you in the evening, or it feels incredible to hear your voice after a long day. That is brilliant, right? That's how you're going to want to start speaking to a man, really expressing your feelings without having this agenda or using these feeling statements to try to make something happen or make a man do something.
Yes, we're not trying to stir something into creation by doing this. That would be manipulation. Now, you can learn these, you can practice these steps and techniques. You can learn more about it in our programs. It's Find and Keep the One Without Coming Undone. And specifically today, we were talking about Heartbreak to Happily Ever After, where we actually walk you through heartbreak to happily ever after. Now, you can get both of those programs. You can read about it in the notes below, and really you'll have everything you need at your fingertips. You can always privately one-on-one coach with myself or Helena by visiting our websites. We each have great materials on our website, so please do check it out. But you can get everything you need in these programs. And I'm so excited we were able to just share a tiny slice of day one with you. So stay tuned. I'm sure we can share other days with you as well.
I would love to. And yeah, just for anyone interested, Heartbroken to Happily Ever After is like a 3-day program. So you get 3 days worth of classes, and these classes are like 2 to 3 hours each. Find and Keep the One Without Coming Undone is 4 days. So you get 4 classes and so much material, PDFs and guides. And I have a book that I wrote that I'm not sharing anywhere else. It's just for the people that join this program. on how to effortlessly attract the right man for you. So there's just like an endless wealth of information and material. So for anyone interested in checking those out, I'll post a link in the description of this video, and you can get both of them right now at a special bundle price. So they're on sale right now if you buy them together. So I hope this gave you some new tools and information on how to inspire a man to pursue you and crave being around you. Adrienne, any last words before we close out?
The last little bonus thing I want to add right here at the end is that every class has live Q&A with women asking us questions about things that are exactly what are going on in your life right now. It never fails. I get an email from someone and says, oh my goodness, this woman had the same problem I had. So you're really going to find some sisterhood and some connection in these classes. And like Helena said, you get the VIP library. And I can't wait to share more. We worked very hard on these programs for you all. We wanted to create something that everyone could enjoy and have wherever you are, whatever your situation is. So I'm really happy that we get to share it with you all. Thanks for having me, Helena.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And we should definitely do this again soon.
Sure.